What's up, guys? Anthony's Hoops back today with another video, and today we are talking about the re-emergence of Lamelo Ball, who the past 2 seasons have been dealing with injuries, and when he was playing, he wasn't playing at a crazy level. At least in those 2 seasons. Obviously, he was an all-star his second year. And Lamelo this year is averaging 29, 5, and 6 on about 44 from the field and 38 or 39 from 3 on 13 threes a game, which is really freaking good. So, without further ado, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 1K, people. We are 76 subs away. Share this with a friend who you know is a Lamelo guy or it's a Hornets fan. Shout out to my guy, Cam. This one is also for you. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, the first thing I want to talk about is what Lamelo has been able to do just as a playmaker. I mean, here I love how Grant Williams, right, they do the slip screen action, and Caleb Martin stays attached to Lamelo, so Lamelo could easily just go over the top, right, and attack that closeout through Grant Williams. And then even here, right, how sometimes it takes a little bit to get to him in the action, and how Lamelo then can still take advantage regardless, right? So Brandon Miller here, right, it's got Siakam on him tight, pause. Lamelo brings it up. Gets, again, the screen and slip. They love that screen and slip action because, again, they stay attached at the hip to him, to Brandon Miller, and then Miller's able to just roll right to the rim, which makes his life a lot easier. Right, so I sort of love, too, Lamelo could be like a Bale. Right, so there's 7 seconds, mind you, on the shot clock, so Lamelo has to desperately try and make up ground to get a playoff. Drives, and recognizes, hey, no one's rotated back over. There's Brandon Miller wide open, right? And again, what Lamelo does as a playmaker, I think, has always been known, but I think it's important to remind us because he helps this team, like, here, right, again, the slip. They love slip screen actions. They love it. Like, Tobias doesn't really recognize it in time, so Miles Bridges gets the easy dunk. And that's why stuff like that is always going to be so important. And again, transition. We already know LaMelo is similar to Halliburton in that they love to play in transition. They want to outpace you. They want to play at their speed, and that will help their game and their team's game elevate to the next level. So LaMelo here can just go. He's got 2 options, right? At this point, Ivy's committed to his possible layup. Just goes right up for Bridges. A beautiful dunk. And that's why I think it's so important to look at LaMelo as a playmaker. Because, again, I love what he's been able to do operating out of the pick and roll even more versus just having to create out of the perimeter by himself through isolation. Not that he can't do that, obviously. I think he's one of the better playmakers in the league. However, it doesn't mean that if you can make your life easier as a basketball player that you pass it up for something that looks visually tougher. I don't think that matters. As long as what you're doing can produce, the rest will figure itself out. So I love what LaMelo's been able to do for this team at this level. And then we can talk about LaMelo scoring. Now, there's not going to be all positives in this video. Not saying that there's going to be negatives on LaMelo per se. But we got to talk about what I think he can do to make his game even greater. Right? So he gets Caleb Martin on him. Seth Curry sets the actual pick. Now he's got Jared McCain. Right? He's hunting the smaller man in his matchup. He drives, but what I love that LaMelo does here, if you could look, he keeps McCain to his back elbow. Or, his backside. So that way when he goes up, his actual shooting hand is basically free to attack and get to the rim. I think that's high IQ play from LaMelo. And then, right, he gets the ball to Miller, right? Cutoff man isn't available, so LaMelo, kind of heads to the flat to try and help, provide Brandon Miller an escape option. Miller sets the screen, adjusts, backed out to LaMelo. And the one thing him and Halliburton also have in common, their jumpers are not good looking, bro. They don't jump. But either way, LaMelo basically gets the wide open 3 ball. And that right there is how you can create for yourself. And at the end of the day, too, LaMelo's a tough shot maker, which is a great thing. But at times, it can also be a very bad thing. Because when you can make tough shots, you give yourself a mental green light that I think can also hurt you. But we'll get into that in a second. LaMelo does a great job here, right? Fighting off the screen. McCain can't quite get there in time, so he's stuck on his side. And then LaMelo just gets a tough shot up, right? Like, that's just an incredibly, incredibly tough make. To ask any player, by the way, that's a tough play. However, we are about to see, and again, before someone in the comments, but Emster, you talked about this is how he emerged. None of these players in the league right now are perfect. Even the best players on the planet, right? Luka and Jokic, their biggest issues are their defense. Giannis, his biggest issue is his shooting, his outside game, outside of the rim. Those to me are the top 3 players in the league, and it's like there's like a gap. And even they have significant problems with their game that we've seen hurt them at times. So LaMelo, right, I think the IQ or like even the discipline, if you want to call it that, is where things get weird. Like, this is not a good shot. Like, you're tied, right? It's OT. Like, just pass it to Brandon Miller here. Like, there's no need for this shot. There just isn't. Right? And I get it, right? Like, but Emster, he just made the tough play one clip ago. But that was my point. Tough shot makers get a green light, which in some ways they absolutely need it. I'm not saying take away LaMelo Ball's green light, because if you do that, you're taking away what makes him so great. What I am saying, though, is that at the same time can also hurt your team. Right? So LaMelo's trying to bring the ball up. Caleb Martin's guarding him. Gets it out to Brandon Miller. Gets the ball back. Now he's got Kelly Oubre on him. LaMelo's like, no, I don't want that matchup. And that makes sense. I just don't understand how you look at all of this. And first, if you're going to pull the 3, why wouldn't you just pull the 3 here? But then he does this. And that just, it's a poor shot. And now you basically got, a transition play set up for the defense easily. And that's where I think things can get a little nasty for the Hornets. And that's where I think, again, LaMelo, I think it has to have better shot selection. That's always been one of my biggest, if not my biggest negative on LaMelo, is his shot selection. It can be very poor, and I get it. Like, well, he makes it. I don't think every player, just because you can make certain shots doesn't always justify it. Unless you're Steph Curry or like peak Portland Damian Lillard, where you could just legitimately cross half court and people are guarding you as if you were just at the 3-point line, like, on the base of the perimeter. You got it at that point, right? If you're that level, okay, cool. I have no issue with it because you're that level. These guys are not that level. So to me, that's what LaMelo needs to work on offensively. And then he also has been having a turnover problem. He's got about 4 or 5 turnovers a game. Right? So here, Grant Williams gets to slip. Now he gets Al Horford on him. So, and then you got Luke Cornett. I don't get why you make this pass. Like, there's no room for it. Like, just keep driving. Take the possible foul. It's okay to miss. See, now that doesn't make sense to me, because if he's willing to take, this circus shot back here and miss that, why isn't he willing to just try and take a contested lay? Like, that's where I think LaMelo can definitely improve, is just the shot IQ. And then even here, right, like, this is going to be a turnover. This is just, you can't do that, bro. And he has a foul discipline issue anyways. He always has. Right, and even here, he gets Jaime on him, right? He gets the man, slips, keeps it going right now. Gets rid of the ball here. Slows it down. Seth, right, he tries to see if Seth can get anything. He can't, so he gives it back to LaMelo. So then Seth and then LaMelo drives. Now, I don't get why. Again, he doesn't just go up with the lay, but he keeps going, right? So if you wanted to pass, why wouldn't you just pass right here? But instead, he goes for Nick Richards with 6 people next to him. And quite frankly, that's a boneheaded play. That is a bad play by LaMelo Ball. It just is. However, I do think the big thing is LaMelo does make a good defensive effort, right? So Jacopoto's going to come out here and run the DHO. But LaMelo goes, hey, he doesn't know I'm here. So he's able to just snag the ball out, and he says, thanks for the DHO, Podol. And then we just run in transition. I think LaMelo's thing defensively is not that it's like Trae Young where he cannot defend. I don't think it's that. I think at times, again, similar to the offense, he just gets a little boneheaded. He gets a little too aggressive, and he kind of gives possessions off to the offense or defense, whether it's through a poor shot, or in his case, right, he's giving a foul, so then you get the shot clock reset. But here, right, this is a great athletic play from LaMelo. So what you're going to see here is RJ slips by. LaMelo finds a way to jump in and break up the pass, gets it out to Diabetti, and then it's able to then just start in transition. So I think what LaMelo's been able to do is been bringing this Hornets team to a higher level. Obviously, he's their best player. I just think what can make him a superstar versus just a star is if he brings down those turnovers, if he gets the shot selection up. You know, like, I just think some of these shots are poor shots. They're bailing a defense out. Not saying he's the reason they lose games, because that would be ridiculous. But still, let me know what you guys think down below. Is LaMelo Ball a superstar in the making? Is he just a star, a perennial all-star? Let me know what you guys think down below. As always, this was Mr. No Hoops. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.